The human mother who gave her face to an alien girl. I was not born fearing mirrors. In my world, we do not place importance on faces. Identity is carried in voice, posture, and the subtle glow of our skin when emotions shift beneath it. To us, the face is functional, nothing more. A way for light and air to pass. A surface that holds the eyes. That was before the firestorm. That was before humanity. The war did not reach us by warning. It arrived in silence. Our satellites darkened in unison, our sky briefly reflecting something brighter than a sun, and then the ground itself screamed. I remember heat without flame. I remember pressure folding my body inward. I remember waking without pain, because the nerves were gone. And then, days later, pain returned. When I was transported to the human medical vessel, they covered my head. At first, I believed it was for modesty or respect. Later, I learned it was mercy. The human doctors spoke softly, as if their words might bruise me. Their eyes, always their eyes, refused to linger on what I had become. My facial structure had collapsed. Tissue burned, bone exposed, nerves destroyed beyond natural regeneration. In my world, such injuries would have meant a quiet ending. Humans, however, do not accept quiet endings. They told me survival was possible, but restoration was not. Their technology could save my life, but not my face. Not my eyes. Not my expression. I would live, they said, but as something altered. I did not cry. My species does not weep as humans do. But inside, something folded in on itself and did not unfold again. Then she arrived. Her name was Elena Morales. She was older than most humans I had encountered, her hair touched by silver, her movements slower, careful. She carried herself with the calm gravity of someone who had already endured more than fear. She came not as a doctor, nor as a soldier, but as a civilian volunteer aboard the vessel. She brought stories. Every evening, she sat beside my medical pod and spoke. She spoke of Earth, of oceans that breathed, of cities that glowed like constellations fallen to the ground, of music so old it had survived centuries of war. She spoke of her children, grown and scattered across stars now. She spoke of loss, but never lingered there. She never asked to see my face. One cycle, when my strength had returned enough to sit upright, she did something strange. She placed a mirror on the table between us and gently turned it toward herself instead. This, she said calmly, is what I look like. I studied her reflection. The lines around her eyes. The softness of her smile. The way age had not taken from her, but added to her. There was history in her face, pain, laughter, survival. It is expressive, I said. She laughed softly. That's a kind way to say old. I did not understand humor then. But I understood honesty. When the doctors later told me there was an option, an experimental procedure, I thought they were offering technology. Synthetic tissue. Artificial constructs. They were not. They were offering her. Elena had volunteered to donate her face after death. Not tissue samples. Not genetic material. Her face. The human doctors explained it with clinical distance, but their eyes betrayed them. This was not routine. The procedure carried risk. Integration across species had never been attempted at this scale. It might fail. I might reject it. Or worse. I might survive wearing the imprint of someone else's life. When they told me Elena had insisted, I refused. It was not logical. It was not fair. She was human. She had lived a full life. I was alien, broken, a reminder of a war humanity had not even started. She came to me that evening without her usual stories. I heard what they told you, she said. I turned away. I cannot accept this. She nodded, as if I had confirmed something she already knew. You think you'd be taking from me? Yes. She reached for my hand. Her skin was warm. Fragile. Alive. No, she said gently. I'd be giving. There's a difference. I told her she would die. She smiled, not bravely, not tragically, but peacefully. I am dying already. Just slowly. This way, something of me keeps living. Seeing. Smiling. I asked her why. Her answer was simple. Because when my children were hurt, I would have given anything to take their pain. You remind me of them. The procedure took 12 hours. I remember drifting between darkness and sensation, feeling foreign nerves awaken, pathways reconnecting in ways my biology had never known. Human tissue adapted. Learned. Accepted me. When I awoke, the room was silent. There was a mirror. I did not look immediately. Fear, I learned, is universal. When I finally faced my reflection, I did not see myself. I saw her. Human eyes looked back at me, older than my years, softer than my memories. A human mouth trembled, then steadied. I raised my hand. The reflection followed. I was alive. And I was changed. The humans taught me how to move my face. How to smile. How to cry. The first time tears came, they were not my species' light glow of emotion. They were wet, heavy, and unstoppable. The doctors stepped away respectfully. They understood what I was losing and what I was carrying. I learned that humans believe faces hold the soul. If that is true, then Elena's soul did not leave. It watches sunsets through my eyes. It smiles at strangers. It speaks words of peace and counsels that once only heard anger. When I returned to my people, there was silence. They did not recoil. They did not speak. Then an elder stepped forward and said, "You wear a warrior's scar." "No," I corrected softly. "I wear a mother's gift." Humanity is not the strongest species in the galaxy. They do not have the fastest ships. They do not regenerate like some, nor think as collectively as others. But they do something no other species has ever done. They give without expecting survival. They love beyond logic. They believe that even in war, even across stars, even between species, a life is worth saving, even if it costs your own comfort, your own body, your own face. I stand before the Galactic Council now not as a survivor of war, but as evidence of humanity's quiet power. They did not conquer us. They healed us. And every time I smile with a face that was never meant to be mine, the galaxy remembers. Humans are not special because they endure suffering. They are special because they choose to carry someone else's.